Hey everybody, Fragger here to do episodes 30 through 34 of N+. Starting off with Over the Grabow, we have a little dickish move here where we start in the air. We have to move to the right almost immediately. We're going to hit a slant that's really difficult to get out of. Dick move, guys. Moving on, we have Post Mod, which is a fairly neat level where you just have to dodge these little one-way passageways, which we haven't seen a ton of. Pretty much they've only been semi-beneficial. Here they're working against us. So it's a neat little way to see them play out this way. And we're going to see them play this way a few more times. And that'll do it for this level. Moving on, we have Gluttony, which pretty much what you got to do at the very start here is you have to rush this sniper turret. If you play it safe, you can usually get through it, but by rushing it, you're able to throw the tracking system a little off, so you're able to get through there quickly. Dodge these Seekers, or sorry, those are Zoomers, I think I call them. And you get to the button at the halfway point. You can go on and get more gold. Really no point. There's plenty of gold in this episode. Might as well ignore it because the last area you may have noticed there's a missile turret, and that's kind of a mean placement for it. So might as well not have to deal with a missile turret when we don't have to. And we're done with the episode. Level, sorry. Moving on, we got Pipe Dream. This is a pretty fun level. I like this. The design of it, even though it's a start the exit, work your way all the way to the other end, then double back. The way that the bouncy pads are placed means that you kind of have to play each area in an opposite way, because what's going to help you going to the button is going to hinder you on the way back, and I like this design, which makes the whole going back and forth not tedious, but a little bit fun. And also means you can actually burn through it pretty quickly, because we're already done. Now we're going to end with Up and Over, which is a pretty neat level. Just play quickly, and you're going to be dodging a whole bunch of snipers. See here, the three dots in you at once is never good. And that's going to do it for the level and the episode. Let's move on to episode 31. Start with Illusory. This one has a really neat little design choice, which is, we're going to bump into it here in a second, which is that corner right there. It's perpendicular to where you're running, which is going to stop you dead cold. What it ends up doing is that it gives you time to kind of place your next jump to dodge the missile. If you jump over it, you're actually more likely going to get hit by the missile, because it's usually pretty close to you when you're making that corner. So don't do it that way. Rhetorical device looks pretty cool in the fact that it looks like you can wall kick off of these platforms, and they're a little far and there's a little too many chasers to pull it off safely. So just play this semi-safe route. You're going to get a decent amount of gold in doing it, and then just beat the level. Now we have Out of the Blue. This one is pretty much a memorization, because you can only see the chasers for a fraction of the second. Pretty much it's just learn when you can and cannot jump, and then you're going to be fine. And there's really not much else to say about it other than the fact that it kind of sucks, because you only see, since you see them so few, it's a little difficult to get your bearings on in the beginning. Escalator from Hell is not a very aptly named level. You'll see here in a second, it's very quick to beat this level, mainly because all you gotta do is just slow yourself on the way down with those bouncy pads, and you're immediately at the exit. So, stupidly easy level. Not so here with Manable Lust 2. This one here will give you a little bit of headache with these Zoomers. Pretty much you have to hit the ground running, and if you start to lose your speed, you gotta tap jump a little bit, and that'll give you the little extra momentum. And you pretty much have to jump here at the very end. This one, not really that close, so I can just run off, but this one here, look at how close it gets here at the very end. That was really close. It's a good thing that we made it. Moving on to 32. Babied Steps. This one doesn't look that difficult, but this kind of sets up a theme where I really hate slanted edges. They are the bane of playing this game quickly, mainly because you skip off of them, and it makes things very difficult to do certain moves and speed correctly. You'll see that in the next video, actually, in a very difficult level. But for now, that's kind of setting them up as mean things. That's why they call it Gold. Is a pretty neat level, because I could do this. Whee! Now, you actually need to do this to get momentum, because the way that these things are slanted, since you're hitting the ground running, you can very easily make those jumps there. Otherwise, they're actually very difficult jumps to make, and you're more often than not either going to undershoot it, or you're going to hit these mines, which are kind of devilishly placed. Majestic is a pretty neat level because it's all about dodging missiles, and I play it a little bit for fun here because, you know, might as well get some more gold while we're at it. Dodging missiles is always fun when you have a decent enough way to dodge them. Moving on here to a deadly game of chess, which I zoomed out on because I usually don't play this with sound, mainly because when you're playing it for so long, the music gets really annoying. So I wanted to keep track of all 3 missile turrets, and pretty easy when you're zoomed out. Another zoomed out level is Cutting In, probably my favorite level out of the group. It is a start at the exit, work your way to the end, and work your way back, but since it's a game of time here against these chasers, you're going to have to deal with them in 2 different ways. You have to deal with them running at them, which is, of course, the easier way of doing it, which I'm doing right now. And then you have to deal with them on the way back, which is really cool because it means you have to manage your time. You don't want to hit them when they're going up, and you can kind of deal with them when they're going down, but you want to deal with them when they're on a flat surface, which we're going to deal with about half of it, I believe, when we get to it. And we're almost there, hitting these corners at the exact last second to propel momentum so you can wall kick off very quickly. And I play it a little extra safe here so I can do this. We've been taught enough how to do controlled drops, and that's where it comes in handy. So we can very easily jump over the last chaser and get to the end. That's going to do it for episode 32. 33 is going to get interesting. Leaps and Bounds is a pretty fun level, mainly because it's not a go to one end, go back to the other, but it kind of also reinforces the whole controlled drops thing here. That drop with the mines, you really have to control your end on it, or else you're going to go right into those mines, or you're going to hit it a little too hard. Grilled Eel Guts is kind of got a dick move right there at the start with the machine gun. Kind of mean there, guys. And it's also got some other weird stuff. These zoomers aren't exactly totally threatening. They're just kind of annoying that you have to just jump over them. But right here, we have a sniper here right at the start, which I'm trying to get it so it's not aiming at me. Then we got a missile turret here with some very tight corridors. So either you want to run to the end here where the gold is, which is kind of open, or where I dealt with it there, which is another open area, so you can very easily dodge it. See here, these zoomers are absolutely no problem at all. And you got a nice little exit here, which is nice and easy, and a laser, which is just chilling there by itself, which is no threat at all. Weird placement. Wiggle is a deceptively difficult level, mainly because it kind of makes you go, oh, I can go fast, because it's got this this wave pattern. But when you start going fast, you're going to throw yourself into these missiles, which is why it's kind of devilishly well done that way. So take it a little bit slow, and you're going to be able to get quite a bit of gold out of it, because you're going to need it for the end level, and easily get yourself to the end. Now, this level's called Contra. Don't really see why this is Contra, but, you know, whatever. Kind of a neat way. You got to run all the way up, doing this nice little pattern here. When done right, it looks cool, and the exit, you don't have to emulate the entire way down. Just slow yourself on the way down, and hopefully don't hit those mines, and you're at the end to the worst level of this video. Thank the Lord. I really don't like this level. Bouncy pads have never been my strong suit in this game, and this is, as you can tell, entirely bouncy pads and mines. You're going to be doing a lot of air control, a lot of controlling your momentum here, because one wrong step, you hit, like if you hit the side of a bouncy pad, you're going to hit a mine. If you just hit it in the wrong way, you're going to be constantly hitting mines, which makes this very, very difficult. In fact, in my raw recordings of this level took me about an hour and a half to do because I kept making just tiny mistakes. And that climb up took me the longest because it's actually a very difficult climb up. And this part up here is where I kind of realized what you really need to do is leave these gold pieces here as much as you can, so you can use them to guide your way down so that you can easily do that and then control your descent and your momentum so that you're not, you know, hitting mines. The way out is, once again, very difficult, but if you kind of play it a little safe, it ends up being manageable, not easy. There we go. We're getting close to the end here. I actually had a few attempts where I got very close to the end and died, which you can imagine how angry that makes me. And oh, just a little bit of adjustment there. Almost hit that mine. You really want to be very, very careful of how you're falling in this, and we're almost done. Playing it a little safe because I don't want to die. And there we go. We beat, thank the Lord, and we can move on to slightly easier levels. After I decide to hit continue. There we go. Dashed Hopes is a weird level. This is one that really could have used a little more difficulty. This probably would have been more at home in maybe an episode or two earlier, because there's a button that you have to hit in this section here, which is kind of cool, and I like that. But the next section doesn't have one, and that's kind of a weird design choice, and I don't know why. It's pretty much you can just do this and kind of have it controlled because of these zoomers. But here I'm just like, just gonna go up here just because, grab a piece of gold. What else am I gonna do? Not do that? And just grab some more gold. We're gonna kind of need it for this run, but not as badly as we needed for Welcome to Glord, where you're gonna need a little bit extra just so you can play it a little safer. And then just go to the exit. Bam. The office is a deceptively difficult level, mainly because this opening and middle section here, you're going to be attacked by two snipers at the same time, so it's pretty much hopeful placement on the top one. You want it to be above you so you can stand still, so that you can make this final jump, because you're going to be shot by it too. And these controlled jumps are going to make it stagger on your way down. So there we go. And in Sullivan Russia end plays you, which is not only a terrible joke, but also a very terrible level. This could have very easily been in like episode 5. It's not difficult at all. If they had put this before Welcome to Glord, I would say, hey, thanks for all the gold. It really makes me want to play Glord a little bit safer. But since it's before the next level, which is this, it's not really needed. Strive is just difficult because you're dealing with slanted ledges, and I have no idea how to hit that mine. But it's not that difficult. In fact, this whole episode here is not difficult, save for the end here, which is playing in traffic, I believe. Stuck in traffic, sorry. Which you just have to play quick, and since you just have to play it quick, you're not really going to need that much gold. In fact, you can see our bar is full and is in no danger of going below 300. And here I go a little bit slow, which you can now see these chases are getting really close to me when I'm doing the return trip. This return trip actually is what took me the longest. I could always get there, but coming back was very difficult. But that's going to do it for me and this episode of N+. We're going to go to 35 here at another time, and things are going to get pretty hairy. See you guys there.